So the first reason is really just that you don't yet have the right tools. My best example for this is I like to get a lot of IKEA furniture. It's so simple, right? And you just have the one little Allen wrench and that can put everything together, right? And sometimes, when we come into parenting, we have our tool belts and we have whatever tools we got from our parents, right? So sometimes our tool belt has lots of great tools that we really like. Sometimes our tool belt really doesn't have many parenting tools in it. Didn't have a lot of great parenting strategies modeled for us. So we don't have that in our tool belt. And you don't really have control of what tools that your parents modeled for you. Maybe there was a lot of things you don't want to repeat with your kids. So your tool belt's kind of empty because you don't want to use what your parents did, or you don't want to, but then you find yourself doing it anyway because that's just the only tool you have in there. So sometimes then we get the tool, right? We're like, I'm going to use this tool and this feels great for me to use and I'm going to use it with all my kids and it's going to be wonderful. And it worked for my friends and it worked for my mom or, whatever. And then that tool doesn't work. And then we're like, oh, something is either wrong with me or wrong with my kid. And that's not true, right? It's just that like our kids are not IKEA furniture, especially if you have a strong-willed, very sensitive, or a child with ADHD or autism, right? They're not IKEA furniture. They are beautiful, handcrafted, special order, custom furniture. And they need a lot of different tools to help them become the person that they are meant to be, the wonderful person that they are meant to be. And so, our job as their parents is to find the right tools so that way we can help shape them into that, right? We got to just like, if the Allen wrench isn't working, that's okay. We are adults. We can go get more tools. And so, some of you that have read the books and done the webinars, maybe you're like, I've tried all the tools, right? And I mean, that can feel very overwhelming when you've tried so many things and nothing has worked, but it just hasn't worked yet. Because what happens when we have a lot of the parenting knowledge, it's kind of like we buy this fancy power tool, right? Now I have this fancy power tool. I went to Home Depot, I have this thing, but like it didn't really come with an instruction manual. No one's really teaching me how to use it. Knowledge is one thing, but then if you have just the knowledge, but you don't know when to use it or how to use it or with what kid at what time, you can't ask questions, you can't really practice. Usually we just can't use it effectively and then we give up. So you might be a parent that has lots of fancy power tools, but you don't really know which one to use when or if you're using it correctly. So you are in the right place if that describes you as well. The other reason that often these everything that we tried isn't working is because sometimes we just give up. Sometimes, like when we have tried all the things and we bought all the power tools and we kind of have a list of all the things that we've tried that haven't worked, like we start to believe that nothing has worked, right? And this might be